What's going on, folks? Painless. Back with another one. It's been a little bit, but I've just been living life. Just got back from Chicago last week. I had the opportunity to walk my daughter down the aisle. And it's a beautiful thing. My daughter is she's coming to her own. Has already started a career in education, as her new husband has started a career in education, and it's a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing, and I just had a lot of time to reflect. And kind of segue into this video with that. So that's that's been the highlight of my summer. I'm still got some places I got to go for the summer. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. But getting into this video, I've kind of steered away from the even entertaining the gender war. I think it's I mean, how many ways can you dice an onion? Or cut it? Because dicing is a way to cut how many ways can you cut an onion? I should say. I mean, the topic is played. The topic is hella played. It's old. People gonna do what they want to do. Men gonna do what they want to do. Women gonna do what they want to do. But I had an opportunity to watch Dr. Umar Johnson on a panel. Looked like they appeared to be some younger guys, younger brothers, and they were discussing a host of topics. I didn't watch every second, every minute, but there's a way to forward, and you can see what the topic is if you look at the bottom of that screen. Things that were I had an opportunity to listen to a majority of those segments within that interview panel, and a lot of people, I've seen other videos talking about black women, marriage, masculinity, who's at fault. But what I found interesting, what I found interesting is the change in Dr. Umar. And this is a perfect example of remember I told y'all when I was in school, when I was in college, I had a professor who said, if you want to really be a good debater, you develop, not necessarily master, but have the ability to argue both sides, to see things from different perspectives. And this is a succinct example of what I'm talking about. And there's some things that I agree with Dr. Umar said. For instance, he said one time in this particular panel that what I say to women, brother, you shouldn't really be concerned about that. And to a degree, I see what Dr. Umar was talking about. But then again, for all intents and purposes, if you're trying to develop a debate or argument, hence this is the issue with debating, because nothing good comes out of it. It's like demonstrating and marching. You're just going to get sore feet. Yeah, you want to know what's being told to the other side, But generally speaking, I don't want women inquiring about what we're speaking about as men in a closed-off room full of men. That is of no concern to you. And I don't need to know about what y'all women is talking about closed doors, because that is of concern to me. So in that respect, I understand. But this whole idea that black men... See, Dr. Umar, you can't say that there's Pookies and Ray Rays and that we as black men dropped the ball, and then there wouldn't be no Pookie Ray Ray. But then in the same breath, talk about systematic racism, which I would say, Painless would say, just off, just looking at it, black men don't create Pookies and Ray Rays. This systematic system that you have always touted in white supremacy creates Pookies and Ray Rays. And, let me just go on to dispel this. Every group has Pookies. There's Pookies and Ray Rays in Arab communities. There's Pookies and Ray Rays in Hispanic community. There's Pookies and Ray Rays in other white ethnicities or whatever you call it, nationalities. It just so happens in the so-called black community, there's a propensity to always ride that Pookie and Ray Ray wave well up into your 50s. You got sisters out here who are 38 years old with 2-year-old children, the father nowhere in sight, or minimal contact. See, there's a Peter Pan syndrome in the so-called black community, where you never want to grow up. This whole black don't crack shit. This whole black folks think they vampires. Black folks think they vampires. Like you're never gonna get old, which is nonsense, and that perpetuates into the behavior of a lot of black folks. You're out here 40 years old, getting pregnant, not married. Now your ass is 40 years old, 39 years old, Painless, you lying, man. I, as a single guy, out here in the single, messing with these apps, out here mingling, I meet women who are 38, 39 years old with 3 and 4-year-old children and not married. And not only not married, not with their father. So it's like, that's on her. But let Umar tell it, Dr. Umar tell it, that's us. And then got an issue. You'd be a damn fool if you're a single man with no children to make long-term plans with a woman that's 39 years old with a 3-goddamn-year-old child. I would look at, if I was one of your homeboys or your partners, I'd look at you like a damn fool if you did some mess like that. Like, man, what is wrong with you? Do you know the severity of doing something like that? Now, I say, hey, if you just want to have, little physical relations, if you know what I mean, okay. And some guys, I can see if a guy didn't want to do that. Sometimes I don't do, and sometimes I do that. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Because I know what happened when you stick your stick in her honey pot. It changes the game. And I'm at the point, I'm almost 45. I'll be 45 this year. I understand that all sex ain't good sex. Because I know once you have them relations, it comes with blowing up my damn phone, popping up, unexpectedly. And I don't usually run into women that do that. But I know one thing, the game changes when you do that. But if you want to do that, ain't nothing wrong with that. But, you're trying to move in. And see, women now, and again, let Dr. Umar tell it, we should be saved. We should be captains. We should be starching up our capes and swooping in to save. And no, and see, I can tell women, see, women like that, women who are, and these women that I just spoke about, they get, you can smell the fake cooperation a mile away. Like this, look, she just trying to get saved. You know, she got a 5-year-old son. She's 42 years old. Ain't no, you know, divorce. And I mean, and Omar, that ain't got nothing to do with a guy like me. But I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to sidestep on a woman like that. See, I don't give a damn about the so-called black. And see, that's what he hinges on. That's what he hangs, that's what Dr. Umar hangs his hat on. That if you care about the so-called black community, you'll wife up a woman like that. See, I don't play that shit. I don't give a damn. Because the so-called black community don't give a damn about itself. All this, no, you know, and then he was talking about how certain groups don't value black life. We don't value black life. And I said the only time a black man's life is of value if it's killed by someone who ain't black. And so you're not going to, it's like you can't, see, you can't con me with Jesus, no heaven, nothing like that. Or, oh, you know, let's play on his, you know, he's a Negro. You got to be religious. No, you can't do that with Painless. You can't con me with Jesus and sin and all that shit. No, and you can't con me into going with the status quo about no damn so-called black community and doing this, because no, the math just ain't mathing. When I turn on the news and there's all this, you know, when I go on sites like Gun Memorial and I see it's full of members of the so-called black community, and then I look at the suspects and they're members of the so-called black community as well. Well, Painless, Mexicans kill each other too, Painless. Well, true. And most people are killed by their people who they deal with. The likelihood of a Mexican getting killed by another Mexican, yeah, it's probably high because they typically deal with each other, but not at the rate of the African American Negro. So, argument destroyed. Moving along. But yeah, see, and I've said this before too. A lot of times, white people, and I've seen this, white people, you know, they're young. I remember this back in the mid-'90s, early '90s. White people was listening to NWA, DOC, Project Pat, 8-Ball, MJG, Ghetto Boys, all the rappers that were of prominence and you know, that were stars back in that era. But you know what they did when they got grown? They fucking got grown. They got grown. They said, oh my God, I can't keep listening to all this foolishness. I'm about to have kids, I'm married, you know. And see, the so-called black community culture is a people treat it as a transient culture. And it should be. Only black folks well up into still doing shit that they was doing when they were 16. You just look at brothers out here. Brothers out here still wearing, you know, I mean, you got old brothers around here cripping with bandanas tied around their necks. 50-some years old, 53 years old. Hats to the back. All the time, you know. Now, if you out hang, that you can tell, you know, because I still like a pair of Air Max here and there. But even I've gotten away. Jordans, forget it. But no, I've moved on. Like I rock basic, you know, patent leather shoes for my age. I'm not spending $116 every damn 2 weeks for a pair of tennis shoes. But you have, when I see a woman, when I see a woman about my age and I look on her profile and she's got Air Force, she's got retro ones, which costs about $160, hundred and something dollars. A damn bill, or two bills. And I see her posing with them damn shoes on. And then, we get to talking and she tells me that I'm a production lead making damn cash registers somewhere. That's a woman to avoid. Damn, Painless, why? Because ain't no way I make pretty good damn money for myself. And I'm tripping about spending $90. Not because I can't afford it, because I could. But I don't because I'm fiscally responsible. When I see a woman like that, and I know she's making only $12 to $15 an hour, but she's got on retro ones, Jordans, and always talking about traveling and shit, you think I want to fucking mix money with your ass? I think not. Because you've demonstrated, and see, these are the women that like these Pookies and Ray Rays, and these are reformed Pookie and Ray Ray lovers. They get up into their mid 30s, up to their early 40s. Now they looking for a guy like me. And I'm not too much, but I'm just saying they are. But the jig is up. The jig is up. But Dr. Umar will have someone like me guilt trip me into dealing with a woman like that. But you know what? When the shit blows up, he's not going to be there to console me. Be like, oh, brother, it's all right. He's just going to keep doing what he does. And see, and that's the thing. You worry about you. Because when that stuff blow up, ain't nobody, all them people who put them batteries in your back, ain't going to be nowhere to be found, but you going to have the problem still. So yeah, women have always liked bad boys. Women like bad boys. But at a certain age, except the black woman, everybody else realizes this ain't it. I'm glad my daughter is 23 years old, and I'm glad she got married now. I'm glad she got married now. Start a family. Y'all both got great careers in education. Start a family, get a house, all that shit. And I said it's all about decision making. When I run into these women out here who ain't never been married and they look decent, what they say now, that's a damn red flag for me. And again, we in the so-called black community, we like to play. We never want to leave the damn party. We never want to leave the party. And that's how many of us live our lives. I need somebody who can handle me. Chick, handle your damn self. You think I'm going to play games with your punk ass at my age talking about, you 46 talking about, I need someone who can sit me down. Okay. Okay. I don't like the outside. But you want to travel every goddamn where and spend money you ain't got. You want these women who don't want to work out, don't want to walk, don't want to do shit, but spend money and be on that damn phone and talk shit and spend money they ain't got. And want to go out and eat all the damn time, eat everywhere, don't want to cook. And see, this is who Dr. Umar want us to jump on that grenade for? Negative. Shit. fuck out of here. You think no. And that is what we're dealing with. That is what's out here. And I said, black women, he talking about, he went on this Obama rant, pull your pants up, stop smoking weed. Okay. And my question is always, whoever been rocking with me, haven't I always said, well, okay, ain't no men around. Whoop-de-damn-do. So what we gonna do now? Now that we know that, okay. Ain't no men, the men are in jail, half of them gay, DL, in prison. Okay, now what? My natural inclination would be, well, who's raising these little, who's raising these children? Oh, you, black woman. Oh, you. Okay. Now, we can argue of who, where the black men at, but who is raising them right now? You is. You are a black woman. But again, let Dr. Umar tell us, we still on the hook for that. And I say this. Most of the world, when these people, and not that I give a damn, but it's the reality. When you see an old Pakistani man or woman, and they're sitting in the park on a bench, just chilling, and they see a bunch of dreadhead, nothing wrong with dread. I'm just painting a picture. I particularly don't have an issue with dreads. It's not something, I'm just saying. And you see a bunch of dreadhead, 14 to 17-year-old black boys coming through, tearing shit up, smelling like dope, cussing and all this stuff. You know what that old Pakistani man is thinking? He ain't thinking, he thinking, your mother. What's up with your mother? Damn, who's the mother of these children? Who's raising which? He ain't thinking about the man. Because most cultures, and you even have these nuts and berries, pro-blacks out there saying, women are the first initiators of culture. They're the nurturer. And it's true. Because most men are out working, providing. They're not you learn how to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Hold the door open for folks. Excuse me. May I please? You learn that shit from your mama. You don't learn that shit from your daddy. Now, your daddy may, but 9 times out of 10, you learning how to wiggle through this world, be courteous and respectful and act like you have some damn manners. You learn that from your mama. And the math just, again, the math ain't mathing. Remember Menace in Society? The opening scene? What that Korean lady told O-Dog? Or was it the husband? I feel sorry for your mother. He didn't say I feel sorry for your daddy. He said I feel sorry for your mother. Because he know, he in his mind, he said his mama ain't teach him a god doggone what about manners. So again, stop with this ain't no black men. So what? What are you doing? And the fruit don't fall far from the tree. All this hellish, this shit ain't being learned from men. This shit is being learned from the very women I described maybe 5 minutes ago in this goddamn video. So miss me, Umar. It sounds good. I know you're pandering, but it ain't. It's not adding up. That's why. So, when I say bump the so-called black community, I mean just that. I don't care when people start see when I when I talk to these women, man, and they be talking all this black owned shit. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Another clown. And that's what I be calling a lot of these women, clowns. Talking all this, black owned shit. You because it's disingenuous. When you hear if I heard someone say, I prefer black owned, I'll be like, okay, that's your preference. But see, the disingenuousness when you hear, it just, when you're part of the damn problem. You just like, these sisters I'm running to, I had one talking about, yeah, I'm going to, all this stuff going on made me want to move abroad. I'm about to move to Mexico. Like it ain't damn racism over there. There's no other place I would rather live. I don't want to go to no Africa. I don't want to go to no Europe or nothing, or nowhere in Latin America. No, I'm staying my ass right here in the southeastern part of the United States of America. Point blank. And see, when women start talking that shit, because you got dudes that talk, I'm moving abroad, man. And I'm not talking about passport bros, because they going over there for a different reason. I'm just talking about people, black folk, thinking that they going to find less racism in fucking Uruguay. You think you going to find less racism in Peru, Uruguay, Bolivia? No. And I've said this, I don't want to live nowhere if I got thrown in jail, I would be like, oh shit, If I get thrown in jail here in America, you roll with other brothers. And while they are Pookie and Ray Rays, there's some familiarity. You get your ass thrown over in a damn Nicaraguan prison off some humbug shit they didn't conjure. I've heard guys. What's that brother's name? He's got a pretty good channel. Taylor Made Dreams. He's an older brother. He was talking about the stuff he was going through in DR, in the Dominican Republic. And I said that when I heard his story, I said that's exactly why I wouldn't move my ass nowhere else other than stay in America. Because you ain't got no dog in the fight. You ain't Dominican. You moved to Samoa. You ain't Samoan. You moving all these places in the Philippines. You ain't Filipino. You got all these underworld syndicates and shit, because black folks think they the hardest people on the planet. Like ain't nobody else gang thick with it. Like ain't nobody else gang with it. And you get your ass over there in a Filipino prison and they start extorting your ass. All the Filipinos start extorting your ass. Or you move to El Salvador, MS-13 is telling you to drop it like it's hot. If not, you're going to get a bone crusher in your ribs. So I'd rather stay my ass in America. See, a lot of people are emotional. A lot of black folks just ain't well traveled. Or you wouldn't know shit like this. You would know stuff like this. And then, you talking about Pookies and Ray Rays. I thought the system created Pookies and Ray Rays. I ain't got shit to do with no Pookie and Ray Ray. And you're not going to shame me into dealing with a woman who has all up to this point messed with Pookie and Ray Ray. Now she's in a fucking bind. Now she needs EL, what they call educated lame. I can't tell you how many times I've seen these young black girls get out of college. This is what they do. It's, oh shit, hookah bar, hookah. And they get a little punk ass apartment with one of their other little punk ass friends. They both graduates from college. They working a little HR job somewhere or at a call center. And they letting all these Pookie and Ray Ray Negroes up in their apartment, stash work, hang out, smoke weed, and then they get pregnant. Instead of finding look, a lot of these young folk in our so-called community ain't looking for no husbands at that age. It's, again, party central. And, I don't hold it all on these young kids. Black culture has been like this. Stop with these young kids. Stop being an old hating Negro. Talking about, man, these young kids, man, we ain't do it like that. I don't know what's wrong with them. They just like your ass. That's what it is. Shit. Acting like they created this. This been in the so-called black community. So-called community. Degenerativeness, Peter Pan, I'm a vampire, black, don't crack culture. It's always a goddamn party. It's always a shindig. Hey, we getting turned up. Okay. Yeah. And now you're 38 years old, 39 years old, working bullshit ass jobs, door dashing on the side, still trying to travel. And that's why I say, Dr. Umar will have you think, and this is why I agree with guys who like to, look, you're not going to shame these women into shit. They're defiant to the end. They will rather live like that. You have women, and I think it's sad. You have women that would rather live in their Jeep Cherokee, take whole baths in the back with the hatch up, living in their car, charging their phone, charging their little cricket crack screen ass phone somewhere, doing laundry at the laundromat. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but hanging out in their car all day, smelling, going to work, getting a gym membership, just to take showers, because you got people that do that. They would rather do all that acrobatic shit, jump through hoops, than find find a decent guy who got a little something going on to chill and build with. They rather do all that hocus pocus, I ain't no ways tied shit, than deal with a regular guy and build with. You know why? Defiant, uncouth, not easily led. And to me, fuck them. If anything you take away from this video, folks, women like that, fuck them. Walk away. Wall of silence. Like Brother Soul in Black used to say. I just ran into Soul in Black on YouTube. I'm glad I found another channel. He's still kicking the real. Wall of silence. Fuck them. Walk away as if they don't exist. Shun them on the low. Do not make eye contact. Watch them suffer. Don't watch. If you want to, tune in here and there. But fuck them. If anything you take from this video, take that. Give them no acknowledgement. Let them wither away, unmarried, unmarked grave, no flowers, nothing. Painless out.